Dennis Sellman believes without Jeff Stoutland, opponents will not be able to predict what plays what we're gonna do on downs. Because of Jeff Stoutland, he believes that in certain situations we have been running the ball, people knew about it. You know what I'm saying? So with Jeff Stoutland resigning, that's out of the equation. So people got to come play ball. Also, Parks Frazier is probably going to be the key to this offense, because he's got to get Jalen Hurts up to speed on how this offense is going to be run, what you want to attack, and how to get out of certain looks. I believe myself that Jalen Hurts will be able to determine those things pretty quickly. He's been going through offensive coordinators, offensive coordinators. So he's adapted to seeing different offenses, so to speak. This is going to be a lot different than what he's used to seeing, because this guy's not going to cater to the throws that Jalen Hurts would rather throw. He's going to give you throws, and you got to make the throws. Kyle Pitts for the Atlanta Falcons won't be available to us. Howie Roseman won't even be able to go in there and snatch him up, and we're going to talk about it later on in the video. Howie Roseman was asked about A.J. Brown and if we would even entertain the conversation of a trade. And in this video, we're going to tell you. So stay tuned. Also, a GM who used to be a Philadelphia Eagle, he is a GM now. He used to be a Philadelphia Eagle, was asked if he was going to take Howie Roseman calls when it's come times to trades and stuff like that. And we got a video for y'all to see what his answer was. With all that being said, man, let's get into it.
Say I done fell so many times, but I got back up. I've been drugged through the mud, like it ain't been enough. I'm still going, 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 still going. And I done felt so much pain, but I wanna give up. But I can't stop now, 'cause I've been through too much. I'm still going, 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 still going.
All right. So the man put up a whole chart. He went through head coach to head coach to head coach to head coach. And this is what he came up with.
This is Jeff Stoutland's entire tenure with the Eagles, and it is under center percentage on early down runs on one axis and under center percentage on early down dropbacks on the other axis. And we took out like 2-minute drills and garbage time and all those things. And the Eagles are, for the audio listeners, nowhere near anybody else, dead last by a mile over the entire era. Now, I posted this, and I got a lot of replies saying, oh, this is just because, Chip Kelly was this way, or it's because of Jalen Hurts. Like, I bet if you look at certain quarterbacks or certain, the Doug Peterson era, it won't be like this. So I broke it down into each of the 3 head coach periods that Stoutland was here for. So, Lindsay, we can look at first at the Chip Kelly era. So, sure enough, this is a big part of the reason. Okay. There was very little under center usage during Chip Kelly. So, Eagles are dead last by a mile during this time. But if you look at the Doug Peterson era, it is not that much different. I mean, the Eagles are down very low in that one as well. And then, of course, if we look at the current Sirianni era,
the Chiefs is interesting.
It's also very similar. Yeah, well, the Chiefs in that period, of course, with Andy Reid, have kind of always been that way as well, which is very funny because the Eagles were almost exclusively under center the entire time Andy Reid was actually on the Eagles. Like 4th and 26 was under center, which is unbelievable.
That's very funny.
If you look back at watch 4th and 26 and you're like, why is he under center? And then you realize because he was under center on literally every play all season. Like that's just the way that was. But yeah, I mean, by the numbers, that under center percentage on run in the run game, 32nd by a mile over the 13 years, 32nd during Chip, 30th during Doug, 32nd in 2017, winning the Super Bowl, 32nd during Sirianni. The only year that they were anywhere close to league average was 2016, the first year of Doug. And even that year, they were 41st percentile. Every other year, they were 13th percentile or lower. Wow. Which is including in 2025 when they were 13th percentile.
I had no idea it has been working for us, which is almost greatness in itself, that people knew what we were going to do on certain downs and we still was able to like man people up. That only makes me more excited to see what we can do when they don't know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? When they have no idea what's coming, what we'll be able to do then. We was extremely dominant in 2024 running the football. And if you're telling me in these charts, people knew that was coming and they still couldn't stop it, that just brings so much confidence to me. You know what I'm saying? I feel so much confident about going into this season. Park Frazier. Park Frazier is supposed to be the key to unlocking this offense. And it's not just him. He's got to get Jalen Hurts up to speed. So we're going to run the tape.
Nick Sirianni explained that one of the keys to Jalen Hurts' transition to the Sean Mannion offense will be Parks Frazier, the new quarterback's coach. Why? Because Frazier has experience in both systems, has experience with Jalen Hurts, and can serve as sort of the translator from one offensive playbook to another. We'll see how it works out, but Sirianni says Parks Frazier is a great young coach.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts has to have a big year this year. Maybe is 4,000 too much to ask for? 4,000 yards too much to ask for? Or we rather have more touchdowns? Honestly, I would rather have more touchdowns. So 40-something touchdowns. I don't care how he get them. He can get 20 with the legs, 20 in the air. 40-something touchdowns should be a little enough. I think it should be enough. You know what I'm saying? So if he can get 40-something touchdowns, we do. Kyle Pitts. The Falcons have come out to say that Kyle Pitts will be franchise tagged. I think he's going to be 1 year, $14 million or $15 million. I think $15 million. And all that guaranteed. So we can't even touch him. Kyle Pitts is a Philly native. And we've been tied to Kyle Pitts for a good little minute. And just kind of hoping that they'll give up on him. And we can go in and swoop him up and add value to this tight end room. All right, A.J. Brown. I'm just as tired of talking about this as y'all are. But Howie Roseman was asked, would he be entertaining any kind of calls, anything for A.J. Brown? And this is what he said.
We heard from Howie Roseman a few days before the NFL Scouting Combine. He fielded questions on a multitude of things, but when asked specifically about the potential for him to take calls on A.J. Brown, he said the following. Without getting into specifics on any player, we're always listening. We're always kind of open. I think that there's a price. I think it's probably a premium pick, maybe a first-round pick. If the Eagles get what they want in return for A.J. Brown, I think a trade could happen. If not, I think he will be back in an Eagles uniform next season.
Yeah, if people giving up a first-round pick and maybe some other stuff, I can see them trading A.J. Brown. That's going to change how we draft, though. But hopefully don't nobody give us that. A second-round pick. I hope they don't do nothing crazy like no second-round pick. You know what I'm saying? And depending on who it is, maybe that's a first-round pick. But I hope they don't do nothing crazy like a second-round pick. Like, A.J. Brown ain't second-round pick material. So...
Trade calls with Howie. Howie's great, and he's one of the best at what he does, and he finds value places. So, and I mean this with respect to Howie. I always watch myself a little bit when he calls, because he's so good at what he does. But he's been great. He's been a great mentor to me. He's taught me a lot. I learned a lot from him in the year and a half that 2 years I was with him in Philly when he moved into the personnel department, and he's been a great resource for me as I've got this job.
I hope we can figure something out, Howie. You got to put it together. Howard Roseman is feared by the NFL, man. Like, this guy, he knows of Howie, and not just him as a GM. There's other GMs that's like, nope, Howie, you ain't getting one over on us. I think the Redskins did it to us in the draft the very last draft. The Redskins did it to us. The Redskins, and I want to say the Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? They won't trade with him because they don't want him to get the upper hand. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, if you're playing a game, basketball 21, and somebody got 19, the whole court decided they gonna guard him. You be having 5 people on him, and Howie Roseman is kind of having to deal with that. now that he's won a championship, creating a monster team, as they would say, or super team, as Michael Parsons would say. So I love it, man. We still gonna get it done. We still gonna get it done. So, you know, I love it, man. And that's all I got for y'all, man. Tell me what y'all think, you know, about that A.J. Brown. Would you trade A.J. Brown for a second round pick? You know what I'm saying? That Kyle Pitts thing, I really wanted Kyle Pitts, man. He's an X factor. Like, comment, subscribe, turn those post notifications on so y'all don't miss no video. And we out. Let's go Birds, man.